Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back everyone. So now it's time for my happy tips, and today's one is all about making the most of your time. Now I know that getting behind with things and sort of being unorganized and feeling like you're not managing things well can really affect you and can even make some people quite depressed. So I'm going to give you my top tips that I've sort of put into practice over the years that really works for me. So number one, first one is to learn to say no. And I know that's a very hard concept for some people because you do tend to like to please people, you don't want to let people down, but it's really, really important that you know your limits and not feel bad when you say no to people. If you say yes all the time, actually what's going to happen, you're going to end up resenting the things that you're saying yes to, and then you're not going to do them properly anyway, and that person that maybe has asked you is going to feel that from you. But also it's quite easy to say no to things that you don't enjoy, but there are times when you also need to say no to things that you do like. So for example, you've got an assignment, you've got some deadlines to meet and your friends ask you to go out. You need to know when is the right time to say yes and when the right time is to say no, because even if you go out, it's still going to be on your mind and you're not going to enjoy it anyway. Okay, so do learn to say no. Now the second one is manage your social network time. Now this is a huge thing because you can waste so much time on social networks. So what I try to do, even though I do have everything on my phone and I do check quite regularly, I do try to also put my phone away for a bit, when I'm with, for example, my husband, or when I'm doing other things in meetings, and I make sure that I'm not tempted to go and check the Twitter or check other things. So try and keep on top of that as well. Now also, I would say number three, stay on high alert for things that steal away your time. Now this could be anything from friends and family that talk a lot. Now I have to say, those people that just have no sense of how much they're talking. And you could have friends that you love a lot, but that really talk a lot. What I normally do, and I'm sorry to say this, if I'm really busy with something and I have a deadline, and a friend calls that I know is quite chatty, I just don't answer my phone, or I text and I say I can't talk right now. It's okay to do that. So you need to really sort of watch out for time wasters. So for example, another thing is like if you have the TV on when you're doing your housework, this really can slow you down. When I do my housework, I don't have the TV on, I just get on with it, and I do it a lot quicker as well. And even things like find things that actually save you time. So even for example, cleaning products. There's certain cleaning products that I invest in. They're more expensive than the sort of average brands, but they do the job so quickly, it saves me time. So make sure you invest in things like this as well, because it does really help. Okay, so let's go to number four. Something that I always do is move quickly and don't do nothing. And it's not an English mistake, I'll explain in a second. Whenever I'm out, whenever I'm running an errand, or even things sort of at work and in my house, I move very fast. I don't just sort of saunter along. I've learned to move really quickly. I walk very fast when I'm outside. Most of my friends can't keep up with me. And what does this do? It's got two benefits. The first one is that you get things done a lot quicker. And the second one is you're burning calories as well, so you can eat more. That's one of my benefits anyway. So that really does help. So it helps you not to waste time. So for example, I'll give you some examples. The other thing was don't do nothing. Okay, so what do I mean by this? I don't just sit down and wait for things. So if the kettle's boiling, I'll give you an example at home. If the kettle's boiling, I don't just stand there and watch the kettle boiling like I see some people doing and just wait for it. I go and do something while the kettle's boiling. So there's so many little things that you can apply, or you're waiting for something on your computer and it's taking the time to load up. Do something else while that's loading. So many small little things that you can do that can make a big difference to your time. And number five, make sure that you get enough sleep, and I would say at least 7 hours. Now you might think, I don't have time, I have to stay up late and do this assignment, or I have to stay up late and do other things. But the thing is, if you're tired, you're not going to be very productive, your movements are going to be slower, you're not going to be able to think straight. So make sure you do get your 7 hours of sleep at least. All right, so I'm going to reveal my 5 other top tips after this video. Okay,
So here with Kit Rice, singer-songwriter from South East London. So how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah, as you said, I'm from South East London. I do R&B, soul. I really love Prince and Jamiroquai and CeeLo Green and people like that. I've really based my sound around the greats like Luther Vandross and Mary J. Blige, and I'm really excited to be here.
You just got to bring yourself a body.
Okay, so that's kind of influenced your style of music. What can you tell us about the music you got recently? I've watched one of your videos, BYOB. What does that stand for?
Bring your own body, not in a bag.
So it's kind of
To a party.
okay, cool. So it's quite a lively music video. It's like almost pretty comical and
It's got all my favourite dancers in it. I love all of the dancers in there. That I've all grown up with them, or I met them on tour somewhere, or they did a dance off at one of my gigs, and I was just like, come on, we're just going to do an amazing video. Bring what you've got, and that's basically what it's about. Bring your own body, bring your own dance style, bring your own vibe. And we just chucked them all in a room, put the song on, and went dance, and they did.
BG, you just got to bring yourself a body.
what would you say is the most important lesson that you've learned in your career so far that you would tell to any of the viewers out there that are watching that maybe see you and they want to be like you, have music videos like that and sing and write and dance, but they're maybe not sure whether they've got what it takes?
You've got to try, and even if you fail, just keep trying, keep trying. If you know it's fierce, then release it. And if you come back to it a year later and you're like, oh, it wasn't as fierce as I thought it was, then release another one and keep trying until you get there, and eventually something will happen for you.
You gotta be YOB, you can't change me.
So here with singer-songwriter Miss Shah from South East London. So hello, Miss Shah.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. So why, first of all, are you called Miss Shah? What's your real name?
My real name is Christina Shah, but there's too many Christinas, so I thought let me keep it short and sweet and be Miss Shah.
So you're the only Miss Shah out there. So how long have you been singing and songwriting for?
I've been singing since I was about 8 and playing piano, but taking music seriously and songwriting probably from the age of 16.
But everything feels right.
You performed at some really big venues like Hammersmith Apollo and O2. What was it like standing on such a big stage in front of so many people?
It was amazing. The energy, it was unbelievable. It was the best feeling ever so far for me. To have thousands of people even screaming, it's just like, I didn't want to get off the stage. It was amazing.
And I'll take the blame for both of us. And I'll take the blame for this love.
Okay, so do you think that writing and performing, does it make you happy?
Oh yes. I think it's just a great way of expressing of what you feel or what you think, and I think that's what I use. I'm quite quiet. I don't really speak what I feel, so I think that's a great escape form for me.
Love me. Yes, I'm scared to.
What's your favourite part of performing, if you were to round it all up?
I like it when people listen and you can see that they feel the music, and they come up to you afterwards and say, oh, I really like that song. I can relate to it. I think that's my favourite part.
Okay. Well, good luck with your career.
Thank you for having me.
Will you ever be ready?
Thanks very much to Kit Rice and Miss Shah. So now to continue with my top 10 tips on how to save time. Number 6 is eat well with food that gives you energy, and of course exercise. Now you may say, I don't have time to exercise, but I've found that when I exercise and I fit it into my day, I'm actually stronger, I'm faster, and I do much more with my time. Number 7, make sure you use a diary or maybe just something on your phone. What I do, I write everything down that I have to do. I plan my day, and that does save me a lot of time. And I even got things written like in 3 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time. I've got everything there so I don't forget anything and waste time backtracking all that business. So do use a diary if you can. Number 8, make sure you finish one thing before you start something else. Now this was a mistake that I used to make quite a lot, and I did waste a lot of time. But the thing is, you get really confused when you're starting lots of things and not finishing them, and your mind's a mess. So make sure that you stick to one thing, get it done before you move on to the next one, and that will also give you much more personal satisfaction too. Number 9, make sure you rest to recharge your batteries, and make sure you also spend time with your loved ones. Now, I know I said before that you shouldn't be doing nothing, but obviously you have to have some time to yourself, to rest, to just to do something that you enjoy, because otherwise you're not going to feel very motivated to work if you don't have these times. And of course, spending time with your loved ones does motivate you to carry on as well, because you've got that time. You need that You need those relationships in your life. And number 10, I normally start my day with a cup of tea, and I sit down at my kitchen table and I meditate and I think about my day and what I'm going to do. And that really kind of, helps me to put things into perspective to make sure that the rest of my day goes really well. So I hope that's helped, guys. And, if you have any of your own ideas that you'd like to email to me, you can do on chris@chrissybshow.tv. Now we're going to go to a quick break, but do stay tuned, because after the break, I'll be speaking to Elijah Benoit, who's a music artist, poet, and inspirational speaker. And Elijah will also be performing his uplifting track, I Have a Dream.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.